Hi, this is Dave, and you're getting this video right now because you just completed at some point recently your free 15-minute consult call with me and decided you want to move forward and become a client, which is awesome. Okay, so you completed your consult call. That's step one. The next step is for you to check your email. There will be a link in an email that I will send you that you'll be able to click on that will take you to a secure web portal, and it will ask you to create a password. Okay, it's going to use your email address as your username. It'll just ask you to fill in a password. Make sure, this seems obvious, but it's easy to forget also. Make sure to write down that password because you're going to use that username, your email address, and the password that you create to schedule all of your own appointments right there on that portal. Pretty much the whole time we'll be working together. 100% of my clients schedule their own appointments. Okay, so it allows you to bring up my schedule, see everything that's available, and plug yourself into whatever works for you. So you'll want to make sure to note whatever the password is that you come up with. Once you create your account, and all you do there, like I said, is put a password in, okay? Assign a password to it. Once that's done, it'll open up and it'll show you the list of documents that I'm gonna need from you as far as intake paperwork. Now, when you look at the list of documents, initially you might go, wow, that looks like so much stuff. But I just want to let you know that the vast majority of those, probably more than like 2/3 of them or more, are pretty much just authorization forms. You know, your HIPAA consent form, a form called a disclosure I have to give you. Basically, you're just signing and dating to certify that I gave you those forms and that you looked at them, okay? Really, very few forms are going to require you to actually enter data, to spend time typing in information. So when you do your electronic signatures, you open the form, you scroll down to the bottom. Hopefully you read it, right? I hope you do. But you open the form, you scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to click a button that will put your electronic signature on the form, and it'll add the date and the time that you signed. And that'll be it for those forms. And then you'll also sign the ones where you have to enter data, okay? But in addition to entering the data for me, in addition to signing and dating them like you do with the consent forms, it'll ask you some questions and ask you to send me some information. It's really important. The last thing I want to make sure you understand with the forms, and this is super, super important, so make sure you're like really dialed in right now and really listening and paying attention, okay? I will send you the email to complete those forms, and I will need all of those forms back from you minimum 24 hours before your first session. That's absolutely critical, and it's so important that if you don't get around to getting those forms into me in that time frame, again, minimum 24 hours before your first scheduled session, if you don't get them in, that session will be canceled. And then you'll be able to go in and use your web portal. You'll be able to log in there, look at my schedule, and just reschedule that appointment for whenever it works for you. And you'll just want to schedule that at a time that's far enough out that you'll be able to have the forms in minimum 24 hours before that session, okay? So, it's definitely not punitive or anything like that. I just need adequate time to make sure that I get the forms and can get in and take a look at them and go over them. I don't want you showing up for your first session and I'm asking you a ton of questions and you're going, clearly I spent all this time filling out these forms and this guy has no idea what I wrote. Okay, so that's the idea. We want to avoid that. Okay, so that's a summary of step 2. I'm going to send an email to your inbox. It'll have a link in it. You'll click on the link. It'll take you out to a website where you will enter in a password that you're going to write down somewhere or keep track of because you know that you're going to continue using this portal over and over again to schedule, modify, or cancel appointments in the future. Okay. Plus, if I send you any other documents, once in a great while, you might decide you want to change your payment method, for example, and I will send you a new payment form that will show up again in your email as a link. And so it'll take you back to that portal, to that same section of the web again. So you'll need your password, to get into your portal and do any extra forms. So, you'll be using that portal on a pretty regular basis as long as we work together. So yeah, you'll submit the forms that are there and give me the information that I need. And you'll want to make sure to get that into me 24 hours before your first appointment. Otherwise, we'll have to cancel that. And then you can go out to the portal and reschedule for a time when it works for you. Okay, so that is it for step 2 of the 3-step onboarding process. I will send you another video that'll explain a little bit about the very quick, very simple, but extraordinarily important step 3. Thanks. Talk to you soon.